Today is May 22nd, 2023. Believe it or not, still going on. Last night I wrote on my Facebook that I had talked to a retired sheriff, and he said that Michelle has to have daddy issues. I said, I thought gold digger. He said, well, that too. He said, but for her to go along with her dad doing this, he's had to rape her. He said to make her this evil. Well, that means Alex too. The white-haired guy with his hair parted on the side, the guy that was stalking me. The guy that bragged he left his comb under his dresser on 12/21/18. Where they stabbed me in the neck, they bashed me in the back of the head. I still have a dent. He had jumped me at the refrigerator, beat, raped, and drugged me. And I woke up with a dent, a migraine, throwing up, dizzy. Didn't know what happened to me, and Dave's accusing me of having an affair. That's retired Judge Pete's son. He's had to rape his kids to make him this evil. Well, I put it on Facebook. Okay? And I said, I'm tired of this serial killing or serial rapist family that is a drug and human trafficking. I wish somebody, stuff like that. I put that on Facebook. That I was tired of. That they are nothing but, and they were what they call sociopaths. They're created by their environment. He's made them evil. And last night, I could hear him outside my apartment. I seen what she wrote about us. I'll take care of her tomorrow. He ain't gonna do anything. I put the refrigerator in front of the door so he can't get near me. He doesn't have anything admissible. There was a thing on the internet of a guy that was cyber stalking 7 victims. Okay, he only knew one of them. He went on their Facebook, their Instagram accounts, Photoshop scenes, then put them in videos, and then tried to extort money. Sound familiar? Like photoshopping a shower scene. But these people are worse because they actually broke in my house. They actually drugged me. They beat, raped me, left me bruised, drugged, throwing up, heart racing, short of breath, and a personal infection. They actually broke in my home. They just didn't do it over the internet and stalked me. They actually violated me in person and would break in my home and either stab me with a needle or roofie my Diet Coke or coffee creamer and leave me beat, drugged, bruised, and personally infected. They're actually that sick. That's where I even put on Facebook. These people, they hate you. Even if they don't know you, they hate you. They hate you because you have a house, you have jewelry. They'll destroy you because you have and they want it. They're that sick. Will's not been around since probably about January 19. I have fell through every crack that should never be there. Where I called the hotline and they had an agent call me back and they drugged me up so bad I couldn't answer the phone. And it took me a couple days to get myself together. And by then I called Sarah and Sarah said she'd witness for me. I went out and got her card, made an excuse to go down to the mall, and we dropped it off. And her manager put it in her locker. Went up to Apostolic Church of Barberton, and Paul Paymer got in Dave's face. My God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk off. Dave comes in, let's go, and he threatens my life. And I almost jumped out on the highway. He's swinging at me and everything. So the next day I have to call that agent back. I told him what happened at Huntington Bank. He called me a liar. Where the guy threatened to knife me. Do you know if there's a camera above the bench? I don't know. If you don't know if there's a camera above that bench, you either say you're lying or I'll put you in jail. There's badgering laws. Department of Justice 1729. You have to take a victim or a witness or informant statement if you believe them or not and follow through. He let the Detroit boys' kidnapper go. He had already killed Lori's family member. He went on to take Marlisa's niece. He's still loose in the Canton area. And a lot of people know about him and have cited him about him and with the human traffickers. He had the biggest case in the world on his desk. I tried to tell him somebody told on me to that church. He called me a liar. A flat out liar. Made me plead for my life. Listed me informant for life. $5,000 a month for life. And then threatened me if I told. Okay? This is where this is Rich. He was so nuts. I didn't think it was real. I Googled the office when I heard Dave threaten Dixie and the baby's life. They had a list. A lady answered the phone and said, well, he's got a list. I'm working on it. He heard Dave. When I seen the guy that they had hired to kill me, he was down the road. He took off through the side woods. She yells out, Will, she's seen that guy. You tell the police up there to get a hold of this. We're busy. If they were too busy to handle my case, they should assign me to somebody else. The serial killer's down the road, and they're busy. That was the last time I heard from Will. That was December of 18. I'm telling you, I bet he's been in jail because we're on a recorded line, and he's badgering the hell out of me. He never gave me my money, and I still have, but he opened a real case. He had an officer talk to Dave the next day. That officer is still around me at times. He tells everybody I'm an informant. Like my one friend from the prosecutor's office, it'd be illegal for the FBI to drop you no matter what. Once they put you in a protection program, they have to protect you the rest of your life because of failure to protect as abuse and misconduct, basically. They could always hire someone else to kill you. See, that retired judge is pulling this big scam with those drug traders out of the area. That's where they got the drugs to drug me up. And they're human trafficking people out of this area. A lot of people have been taken. There was 27 children in the last 2 weeks in Cleveland were taken. My one friend, I met him for dinner on January 20th, 23, said his police department, 2.5 hours away, picked up the case that agent opened. They knew about the Texas group involved. I went, the Kingsmen, is that what they called themselves? There was a retired judge in Texas involved in this big human trafficking scam. And they went down to question him. He killed himself. He said they're getting ready to take care of this. And 3 weeks later, they arrested 800 people nationwide. He brought all kinds of drug traders out of this area into this area to pull this big scam. Now, I don't know retired Judge Pete. I don't know Alex, and I don't know Michelle. I don't know any of these people, and they're willing to drug, beat, rape, publicly humiliate somebody because they want their house and jewelry. And they sold the protected custody case by November of 18. I told you, I bet that agent's in jail. Because just even badgering me on the phone is 5 to 20 years. But the case is still running. Nobody else picked it up. And the police have just been trying to keep me safe when I'm out. They're supposed to keep me safe at home. That's where it's protected home custody for an FBI informant. I turned this into the Director of National Intelligence and the Department of Justice. See, I only know about retired Judge Pete. I could see him around me. And people kept saying his name. And then his picture was on the wall, 91819 of the Ravenna Courthouse. And he was joking around with Ludick. That's how I know who he is. You know, Dave had a girlfriend. March of 18, a young blonde girl walked by us in a restaurant. Does he think it's funny bringing her? And kept ramming her body in the back of my booth top and moved over with Dave. Who is that? I don't know. They were a set of the mean parents. He already had a girlfriend. He had several girlfriends. He manipulates women. And these people are willing to kill and destroy just to steal what you have. And they set off hate crimes. What they did is considered cyber stalking. Dave can't hire a stalker to take me unaware in my home. The right of the people to be safe and secure in your own person. Places and home, papers and effects against unreasonable searches shall not be violated. Fourth Amendment. They had no right in my home. All the police will... Yesterday at Trinity Gospel, some guy was in a suit talking to the security guards. Those people had no right in her home before. You make sure no one says anything to her. There was a guy with a long ponytail. He had said something before about, well, we always knew they drugged her before. That's why nobody else say anything to her. He walked by yesterday. He said, nobody's seen Will for a very long time. None of this is funny. Well, there was another guy with a short ponytail walked in and said, I'm going to tell Will it's ridiculous the way he's treated her. He's lost his mind. It's not Will. It's retired Judge Pete pretending to be an FBI agent. He had the drug cartel with fake badges pretend they're FBI running this big scam. That agent just left it open, and I fell through the cracks where somebody else should have picked it up. It's taking other police departments to pick up that case. That agent opened all this area to actually start arresting these people. Anybody can work it, and anybody can help me. And, you know, Dave told Danny on April 15, 16 of 23 that he had hired some guy named Pete on his own. He was the one taping me unaware and the only one up there doing all those things. He needs to go to jail. He cannot hire a stalker and somebody to drug, beat, and rape his wife and Photoshop scenes. That agent could not have known about Pete, or he would have had to arrest him, or he is in jail for an accessory. The FBI still owes me the money for working this case. The other police departments got a 800 in one sweep and a whole bunch after that. I'll tell you what, where that one guy in Ravenna was cyber stalking 7 victims, he only knew 1. He was taking their pictures off of Instagram, Facebook, photoshopping them, and then putting them in videos. They didn't even know him. He wanted them to feel the pain and hurt that he felt. He pushed some little 17-year-old kid he didn't even know to suicide. That was part of my case. Pushing people to suicide. There's more groups in Ravenna that are stalking people, photoshopping them, and actually date rape drugging them, and they need to break them all up. They need to use my case, and they can get retired Judge Pete, Michelle, and all their other groups. I'm going to go ahead and upload this.